Monday, November 23rd. It has been a while since I have filmed. You can see the box on the ground. Kind of finally settled in one location for a while and have pretty much all my stuff with me, which has not been the case for quite a while. Not all of it is unpacked. That is the caveat to this. But with it, what you doing, girl? Yeah, I know you're looking at me. I can see your eyes. Not everything's unpacked. Not all my WIPs are going to be active yet. Sweetheart. I see you. Right there in the back corner. The eyes. So, figured a good place to start would be things that are currently WIPs. I did privatize all my old videos. I wasn't quite happy with them anymore. And kind of go from there. We're going to try editing too, which is going to be problematic. We'll see how that goes. Most of my patterns are still in a box because that's been the safest place for them. I have my working copies and some of them are PDFs. So, but we shall see what happens from here. We will start with what I have been working on today. I actually had quite a bit of time the last couple days. Yeah, swelling's gone down. I had some surgery done on this side of my jaw Friday, so I've been home. And actually I've gotten caught up on, not caught up, but have had time to watch quite a bit of FlossTube and Stitch, which the last couple months I have not had that time for a couple different reasons, but it's okay. As of December 1st, my schedule will be much better, much more healthy for me, and doesn't require me to be gone all the time, at least for a while. So, this first one is on a 36 count. It's the Man-Eating Donna, the Beach. These are actually going to be models at Sassy Jack's because I do spend some time helping out there. Haven't been there lately just because between this and everything else, usually I'm there a whole lot more often. This, like I said, the Beach from Man-Eating Donna. The patterns are from Rumi's Creations. And the overdyes that she does that are called for in here are used, so it's a mix of hers and DMC. So the first one is Hello Summer. I'm working on my second one right now, Hello Autumn. You can see this is in quarters. I'm basically in Hello Winter and Hello Spring are going to go on this side. Oh, I keep dropping that. But yes, so some of these, like this red, all these letters in here are all, so far actually, all the colors stitched on this one are actually her overdyes. The only thing that isn't are the little squirrel eyes because they are 310. This, once I finish all four, we'll go and get hung there and we'll be there at the store. So if you ever go there after I finish them and we get them framed, which is sometimes the hard part, they will be hanging there. I kind of had taken a break from this because I wasn't feeling well. There was a lot of counting and color changes, and I have a couple go-tos if I'm sick and not, yeah. One of them is Mermaid's Folly from the Courtney collection. So that's actually what I've been working on most lately. The reason I say, even though it's still a lot of counting, one, it's a monochrome, so I don't have to deal with color switching and matching, figuring out what color goes where. It's one color, that's it. Easy peasy. But on it, I have it gridded, and I have basically all the page breaks. So the 3 stitches that would be the overlap, I went through and did all those. And I've kind of stitched in, like I parked a bunch of threads and I stitched like a length of thread in, and I've worked on it. So I actually have like less than 4 pages. It's work on 4 individual pages, but it's not even a full page for those 4. So let me look. Some of these I'm like over 90% done. Don't know exactly how far, but over 90%. It is on a piece of Fortnite fabrics. It was when they did this, the ones that were like mushroom themed. It has been a WIP for a very long time. There was a period it was not with me, which was frustrating because I was trying to figure out who had it, because it was set up where, you know, people would, I'd be like, okay, I had made notes of what projects were with who, so it wasn't always one person that would ship stuff to me. This one did not have a note. It was supposed to be with me, and it ended up not getting in my suitcase, and then it disappeared for almost a year. But I have it. It's almost done. It still has the hoop on because this is actually what I was working on last night. So I think we can see it all. Not usually a fan of leaving them in hoops, but there are times. Now, because I do go to my regular job tomorrow, this is probably what's going to come with me. Because it gets very busy at the particular job I will be at tomorrow. And it's sometimes easier to come and go from something like this than something like that. Now, truth be told, they're both going to come with me. But it's a question which one I actually work on. For the Hello Autumn, this is the, like, here's the first set of colors. And I ran out of space, so there's those last 2 colors for that. And I have some more of the 935 that I'm using for Mermaid's Folly in my little kit here that goes with me. I don't know what that is down there on the floor. It's going through a box, and that wasn't even supposed to have stitching stuff in it. But it did, so I don't even know what this is. I mean, I wheeled pretty quickly. Oh, I know what this one is. So, back when it came out, so it's been a very long time. I keep forgetting about it. This is Winter Wishes from Hand Dyed by Stephanie. That's all I have done. This is March String Sample. It was to choose your own motto. The cover photo, I had the one about tacos, which is what caught my attention, not gonna lie. Choose your own model sampler. Now, I didn't do it any of the colors that were called for. I had been given a bunch of random silks. No clue who they were, what they were, any of that. And that's what I decided to do with it. And now, that being said, I haven't been back to it. I kind of keep forgetting about it. And I still like what it is. I don't remember why I just stopped working on it. This bag, not sure who made it or where they got. I bought it in Baton Rouge. There was, I assume still is, a needlework store there. And I had, when I was working in Louisiana, I Googled crochet stores, and it came up so that I went there. Super nice, super friendly. I know there's this whole thing about, oh, they're not nice at needlework stores. They really were. Like, without a doubt, extremely nice. Would go back if I was in the area, no doubt. This one. Have a tiny little square of fabric. Oh, okay. Well, I got a bag in here that says turn up the beat. Now, I know what happened here. I remember this. It's one of Stitch and Buttons bags, Sea Turtles. I went to start it, and I started it stitching it in the wrong color. Like, I don't know, and the color that is actually supposed to be in there wasn't even here in the bag. So I said I'd pull it out, set it aside, haven't been back to it. Now, how these things ended up in a whole nother box, not sure about that, but okay. I know what this is as well, and I'll show you all the things. This is a Sullivan's that came with it. It's a kit, all the little beads that will go in it. This is the limited edition mixed berry dinky dye silk, and this is the rest of the solid dyes. So Glendon Place came out some years ago with their dessert series, the Mandelas. I have Rainbow Parfait somewhere that I was working on. This is the fabric that came with it. It is a light pink Ada. And one of the things they had was a kit called Mixed Berry Cheesecake. And that is what this is. But I don't really like I'm not a big pink person. I am and I'm not. But I got this little piece of even weave that I just had decided to put it on, and it has been sitting kitted ever since. Really would be an easy thing to go stitch. I just haven't just haven't. This is a So Much Love bag. I don't have very many of them. I think this is about the only one of hers I have. Because they're kind of small, I can't really fit much in like the hoop or frame in there. So I've never had many of them. And when she was really, really popular, she was way more expensive than I could afford at the time. What I have here is a small bookcase, and it's not completely full of stuff, but mostly full. I have not started this yet. It is Britomart. This bag and this little keeper are from Stitch and Button. So one side's the, each side is a different one of the different types of silks. And for the ones that had the extra spools of some colors, they're still here in this Mylar. It is the called for fabric and the chart. I bought my kit at work at Sassy Jack's. She has started the class recently. I haven't had the chance to watch it. I haven't done anything. I haven't started. I still want to go and serge my edges because they are not serged when we made the kits. The serger did break and we have a new one now. So all the fabric going out is probably going to be serged again. It is 40 count white thistle. It's one of the ones that are recommended up here. Piccadilly white or white thistle from Legacy. And this is white thistle. I really do need to start. I'm saying that a lot. I am going to start this soon. It is not actually going to be my New Year's start. I actually have a huge plan that I've been kind of working on for a while. And it ain't that. So with the things at the store, we recently had a class that was Manny Didana and Remy's Creation. Ooh, that thing's getting smushed. So this is the kit from one of the classes. But I'll show you This is also a stitch and button bag. It was the Halloween bag from this year, the mystery bag. Love this thing. Really, really do. There's a couple more things that came with it, but it came with all the stuff to fully finish this thing. Including the 2 little pins, ribbon, all the DMCs. I do not have the pattern with me. It is not in the box with everything else. I actually just truly do not know where it is. The smaller one of these was the actual fob for the bag. The bigger one was the scissor fob that came in that same thing. And I just put it there because I didn't know what to do with it. And that is all I have done. That's it. For the little scissors case. I have no excuse other than we didn't do pre-stitching. We just got everything when we got there, and I was kind of stitching plus paying attention to them, and that is not a recipe to get a lot done. At least not for me. So actually I'm going to do these a little bit out of order than what they are in this pile. Little. Yes. That's just pattern that fell out. Like I said, the other part was Romy's creation. So we got flosses. And with this was the kits to literally finish the project completely. I have even less done on one of her. On this pair of hers. This is Vintage Country Mocha. Like I said, there's literally everything to finish the projects in here. Of course, another stitch and button bag. I love this fabric. I originally got a bag just like this as a gift for a friend, and I decided because I was like, ooh, they'd love that. I'm like, I like it too, but they're gonna love that bag. It came in and I didn't want to give it to them, so I turned around and ordered myself one, and then I got the last one, I believe. So let's roll it back. So the patterns that fell out, I printed off, and I have them saved in PDF in my markup, but quarter crows, since it was going to work with me quite a bit, paper was actually really useful too. I had several that I was flipped through to get to that, so we'll pull out quarter crows. I did a few things with this. I converted it to Cosmo from the DMC that's called for. So my colors will look slightly different. I also am doing this on a 40 count Dolomite fiber on a whim. It's just a fat 8. That's all you need for it. I do have the subscription for Tea and Twigs. I just haven't started it. My pathetic start. A torch and the jester. I kept forgetting about them. And I got so overwhelmed for a while that I didn't stitch it all for a period. Between getting moved and some stuff that was going on, I just wasn't able to keep mentally. I just something had to give, and it was at that for a little while. Need to work, because even though it's relaxing, it was causing me a little bit of stress too. This next one is another kit. It's another bag from Vicky's Stitch and Button. It's kind of creepy looking. That's all I have done. It is the Bellfrog purse. Is the kit from Market from this year. Somehow the beads got separated. It has clasp and the little crown that will go on the top. It comes with the lining. It even comes with a bit of felt to make the frog's tongue inside of the purse. Yes. At first when I saw it, I did not like it. I will not lie. It's kind of grown. It grew on me the more I saw it. And now I really do like it. So again, stitch and button bag. Like it. Love it. This is a very, very sad start. I know it's there. I just... where is it? Very, very sad start. That's all there is. It barely... I don't even know if it qualifies as a start. I'm not sure. This is grape straw from Wabi Sabi, 40 count, and it will be eventually Within a Dream from the Artsy Housewife, the one with the crow and the skull. At some time. I am looking forward to the fact that I will not be nearly as busy. I will not be working. One of the jobs is switching to PRN from full-time, and the PRN is switching to full-time. Like, that's flip-flopping. But this is just that's just kidded. It is not even started, so we're not even going to look at that. Because I have no clue when I'm going to start that. I'm not even sure why it's in. This is the sad start that I started of the Vegan Fairy Flag. It is on her fabric that she dyed for it. And that is all I have done. If you can see that. It is a very beautiful fabric. It is the 40 count of it, not the 30 count. And I do love the fabric. It is a very beautiful fabric. It's a very beautiful pattern. My goal next year, there are a couple things, there are some very big projects I plan on starting next year, but the focus will be on maybe finishing a few of these things. It is. Like, I would like to finish my Mermaid's Folly this year. So this is also another kit. It is the Bittersweet Sentiments 2024 from Summer House Stitchworks. Apparently I left the needle minder and needles on it. I don't know why I have it so far to the side. Oh, well. It is what it is. It may end up getting restarted. I don't know. But it also comes with everything to finish it. Oh, this doesn't belong in it, but hey. I do love her kits. Like, there's the tag for the floss. It even has the key on it. They're so well made. And it comes with a couple different patterns in it. It comes with everything to finish it. And part of what comes with it to finish it is this amazing little piece of ribbon. We'll finish it. It's not that hard to stitch. This actually is going to get set out because that wouldn't be too difficult. That wouldn't be a huge thing to finish. That needs to stay out as a major finish contender. Need to be finished stitching. That's part of what the reason for this is. Now, these aren't all the WIPs. These are just the ones in project bags. These are not the ones that are like in Ziploc project bags. These are just the ones that are. I love this. I'm not typically a huge dinosaur theme person, but I do love my tulip pink, like a lot of other people. And it's like giant turquoise polka dots on the inside, and I do love turquoise, teal turquoise. This is a stitch along from a while back. It is Castle Homecoming from Frosted. Yeah, Castle Homecoming. I did when I did get started this, buy their kits. So it is DMC. And the overdyes that came with that were called for in it, which I didn't put on these little tags. I left them on their things. Super simple stitch, really. It does stitch quite fast. Would I finish it this year? Even if I sat down and focused on it, probably not. Because that's as far as I am. And like I said, I did get their kit, so it is the fabric that they want, that they called for on it, and everything else. I'm pulling from the same little cube here. That's why these are currently piling up on me. This one is first. I did convert to the Vicky Clayton silks. They are, there's not a ring. Things you find out. But they are on floss drops. They all are her silks. So they're not on drops. So this is the very start of Feast of Friendship from Blackbird Designs. And to remove the tag at some point, so I'm not certain what this is. And that's not unusual for me. I'm horrible about keeping track of stuff like that. That's why lately I have been leaving tags on fabric when I do it. Problem is some don't always have tags on them because they came in like Mylar or something that had the tag on it. Silk didn't make it back in. So the next one is a kit from Ink Spots called Bracket. I really thought I had finished this, but apparently not. Spot colors. It's the card that came with it, all the colors. It's on a blue Ada. I really thought I had finished this. I am surprised that I... Very angry looking Kraken. This is going to go in that same pile as Bittersweet Sentiments. First, I want to stitch them in these bags. That's pretty close to done. This beauty. So here's the thing. This one made me very angry. Here's all my DMCs. It is the Deadly Aquarium. So I started it and I was keeping up with it. And then I don't know how it got a giant bright neon pink ink stain on it because the bag it was in didn't have anything that had pink highlighter or anything else. But it had a bright neon ink stain on it, so I had to restart. And I never got caught up because I was over halfway done. I was on track to be done on time. This is a 36 count fabric. Now, when I did the greenhouse, I did it on 40 count. And when I originally started this, I did start it on 40 count. And then I went to the retreat in San Antonio that Under the Sea Fabrics does. And my main goal there was to find fabric to put it on. And I did, but it's in 36 count, so that's okay. It's not that big of a difference in size. So, but there's no way that is getting done by the end of the year. Not if I want to finish Mermaid's Folly. Of course, stitch them in. I like her bags. So we're gonna, these are the ones that are left in that cube. They're gonna come out. These are gonna go back in. And we'll reverse how we do this. So this is Salem Sisters Apothecary. One of them 40 count Jamaican Sunset. I got it when I was in Houston. Spring actually. When I was leaving Louisiana area, Texas, southern Louisiana, all that. That's as far as I am. It is not the Califer thread. It is silk. Water Lilies Plum. I have 2 skeins of it. Not that I am going to need 2 skeins of it, but it was pretty and they had 2 skeins of it, so I bought 2 skeins of it. First Stitch and Button, one of my favorite bags though. I don't I might be starting to think it too big for myself, but it would be a break from them. I will put it on the things that it would be a potentially easy finish. Not saying it will all happen by the end of the year, but so I didn't plan on starting this one when I did, but it was a gift. So last year, a Victoria Samplers Christmas kit that they released was Bling Tree 2. And it was my Christmas present from somebody. The kit was the full kit. And in 6 hours, that's how far I got. Haven't worked on it since because it came with the fabric. It did not come with this thread keep. Lost some beads. Ooh. About lost my caffeinated drink. Yes, I have 2 drinks. I have water in my cup. And then 0 sugar Pepsi. It's funny that I'm using a Halloween red keep on this. But, you know, it's good. We good. Of course, switch and button bag. It is a Christmas bag though. It's really cute. Not quite sometimes, but super cute. Okay, I'm gonna bypass that one for a second. We're going to come back to it. Oh gosh, there's a lot with both of these. So if you follow Sassy Jacks on here, you know she decided to do for her birthday stitch along Ginny Bean's green bean sampler. I had no intentions of doing this. I really didn't. And then we got the silk packs in from Vicky Clayton. And I decided, oh, I love those. So I started it. Junk text. It is on 36 count Cypress from Fiber on a Whim, which is what she is also starting hers on. She's further than I am. I started before she did, but she is much further along than I am. So ignore the bright pink. I was putting that in to count some stitches. So beautiful. And this is the needle minder that she made for it with the squirrel eating a green bean. I love the, even if I wasn't stitching, I still would have gotten the needle minder because I do love the needle minder too. But it was not on my radar to start this at all. Yeah. So I've got a fat quarter of 36 count Cypress, Fiber on a Whim. Beautiful fabric. I'm not gonna lie. I love the fabric. Before I actually had some for my stash. But these silks did me in. I love Vicky Clayton silks. They stitch beautifully. They have a beautiful sheen to them. There's several things to love about them. So this, another Tula Pink, LSD, like rabbits on LSD kind of vibe going. This is a whole story. So, probably a lot of you noticed that Primitive Needle, you were able to start purchasing her patterns again this last year. Online, on Etsy. So there is a pattern I had wanted to do for years, which was Black and Sky. Now, it's charted for these, I forgot what the name of them were, that I couldn't find. I finally found some of them, the company that actually dyed them. And when I would try to click on stuff, maybe they were just having a bad day with their website. It wasn't working. Might have spilled some. And I almost spilled that drink, the caffeinated drink. So my first thought is they were silks. Still want to keep it with silks, but I wanted that variegation still. We were at the store, sold out of a lot of the Glorianas, so I started looking at these Tudor silks. So usually these are you would get these with very high counts. They're a 12 strand, but they're thinner. They're 120 instead of, so they're very thin. So I am doing this on a 40 count, but because these are so thin, it is 2 strands. But I went through, found on the PDF, she gave the DMC conversion. So I pulling the DMC, I used that as kind of a base for what color I wanted. This is 40 count Haunted from Picture This Plus. And like I said, this is 2 strands because it is so thin, even though it is on 40 count. And that's how far I am on Blacked Sky. I did do, like, in it, you can see how this looks almost purpley blue. It was supposed, the DMC conversion was for 310. Yes, I need to cut this down. I just haven't yet. I haven't had a chance. Because I wanted to start it that badly, and I wasn't going to be able to serge it at the time. So I decided to leave it so I didn't have raw edges, because I found myself picking at those raw edges. I didn't really like it. I thought the black was just too harsh. So I subbed out Aubergine, which is this one. It's like a purpley, bluey, blackish color. It just, with the other colors here that I had chosen, the black just seemed too harsh with this fabric and everything else. I just didn't like it. It is a very good color. Not saying I like my color, I like black, but it just didn't feel right for this project. So I did change that color. So all these are Tudor silks, relatively in what the DMC conversion was, which may or may not be as accurate as the overdyed that were originally used. Hey, Harry. The hairless one is here now. Yes, the hairless cat is named Harry. He has been all over with me. Haven't you? Mm-hmm. You coming up? It's your decision. Okay. So, that's the first set. We are 40 minutes in. These are just ones that are in project bags. So like I said, there's a bunch that are in boxes that I haven't even gone through yet. Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Now, I have these almanac scroll frames. Yes, they're wrapped up in plastic to keep the bars together. But I need I'm really looking for a stand that I can put it in, so I can finish this massive monster. This is Tinctorial from Chatelaine. That's where I got a good portion, then still need to go back. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I have to go in and look at that. Might actually be covered up by stitching, but we'll figure that out. We'll look at that. I can get that cleaned out. So I can go back and work on this. There is fleece here on the end, is what I found. When you put the thread here, if you put too much tension on it, it pulls it right out. So what I would do when I was using those, any of scroll frame a lot, is I would sew a piece of fabric on the end. I liked fleece because it was bulky, so it couldn't slip through, but also if there were beads on there, it kind of adds some cushion right on the spindle of that scroll frame, so it didn't break any beads. So Tinctorium, I do want to get back in that, as it is not even going to be worked on this year. I need to find a stand that will hold those almanac frames first. That is where I'm at with that. This is just kitted. It is another chatelaine. Now, that was Tinctorium. There's like the Poison Garden. There's several of those medieval gardens, and it's one of those. I'm just not sure which one. They have the patterns and everything. So I know that's what that is. I just can't tell you which one. And I think that is what this is as well. Yeah, it is the third chatelaine. I only have 3 of them. The kits for that were my birthday present to myself during COVID, because I did not get to quarantine like everybody else since I work in healthcare, you know. Out there dealing with it, so that was my birthday gift to myself. Now there are several projects in this bag. Ooh, what in the world? Okay. Games. Crescent Colors, Classic Colorworks. Now, there was the series from Nork Orbit, Maravilla, for the different little holiday fairies. There's the very tiny start of the Valentine's one. And that is on Kaleidoscope from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And the other half of this fat quarter is a different one of the fairies that is already done. This one has New Year's Fairy on that half. I think there's another one that's going to go on the other half. I don't remember. I gotta go through this and see what I got in there. Finish these 2 first. And that is Fathoms Below by Hand Dyed Fabrics from Stephanie. I had her fabric with them for a very long time. And then I was moving so much and couldn't keep up. And they couldn't get sometimes. It was just a headache. And I really don't stitch on 32 count as much anymore. So, yes, I'm making sure this stays in place because I haven't had a chance to go do the hair dye thing. This is another memorabilia. I know it. I knew it. It's a question of which one is it? I'll know when I see. Yep. The Very Sad Start of Christmas in London, which was started when she first came out. It is a Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, because at the time that is the only person who I had a fabric subscription with. I want to say it's something like Frozen Fractals or something like that. I don't remember exactly. That bottom is just, I don't like it. I think she's beautiful. She's not becoming a UFO yet, but it may happen. Sorry. My jaw is still a little sore. It's actually been feeling better, which is why I was like, I'll try and do this today. I've been contemplating this for a while. This is Fresh Lemonade. It's Ursula Michaels. I don't even know if it's worth saying it's a stock, because that is it. It's on a 40 count from Fortnite Fabrics. I don't have the card in here for which one it is. It is what it is. A bunch of DMC. Some gold. Oh, okay. So this one still has a card. It is Frances. Now, she's got a story. So that's where I am right now. This is it's started as a DMC kit of Henry VIII and his wives. It's still going to be Henry VIII and his wives. But it came with a plain white piece of fabric, which I didn't like. This is still pretty mild and mellow, but it didn't want it on plain white. I just don't like, since you're going to see the fabric, I didn't want it. I am subbing some gold braid, treasure braid in for different places for a reason, and I will get to that. And then the DMC that came with it, because it is a DMC kit. I say it's a pretty safe assumption that it is using DMC threads. Now, there was in a magazine from England years and years ago a piece called King Arthur's Court, which if you contact DMC, they have no clue what you're talking about. Try it. I managed to find a magazine. It was in Europe. It was in the UK. This was a few years ago. I paid more to get it shipped to me here in the US than I paid for the magazine. Yeah, it's still a little small. But I did stitch it as charted. Like the colors. And there's some, when you look at the picture, that they look like they might have been designed by the same person. So one of the things, they had that gold braid in there wrapping around the border around the piece. So I'm basically doing the same thing with that. That is the goal. And so far it's looking to be working. This is several projects as well. And they are Blackbird Designs. It is the Magical Mystery Tour series. I left needle and minders in here. Okay. Not saying I don't want to work on it, but so I've had Strawberry Fields done for a while. This one is Blackbird. I'm doing it in the Darkness Restores. That's what it's called. Yeah. So it's a little bit more bluey than just a true black. But, yeah. Now this could go into the pile of stuff to work on because Blackbird is a monochrome, so it shouldn't, in theory, take too long to do. The rest of them I would have to be a full start, so yeah. This is, there was a couple, I actually only have one or two left, is one of the original kits. And I'm tangled. For Coming to America. This isn't just that, it's the full kit that had all the flosses, the fabric, everything. Hand-dyeds, DMC. Kim had a few left there at Sassy Jack's, and I managed to score one of them. I think there might still be one or two left. I'm not sure. But I got the 37 count corn tassel that came with it. Did not feel any need to change it. And that is where we are. Now the kit came with like a secondary pattern, some other finishing fabric, and a little Pilgrim Girl needle minder, stuff like that. There were several things that were in that kit. They're just not in here. So no way that's going to be finished. So as you can see where this came from, I don't remember her name. I love the fabric though. Beautiful fabrics. And that Rose Apothecary does the inside too. This is, you know, I mentioned the dessert mandalas. This would be Rainbow Parfait. It did get a spill on here, kind of stained the fabric. Didn't really seem to affect the threads, but since it's a mottled, I'm just gonna work with it. That is where I'm at. I do need to finish this. Need to find the beads that go on it. It is done in Dinky Dye Silks, just like that kit. Not the reason why this is taking so long is the threads and I just don't get along very well. They like to tangle. Could be the fact at the time when I did this, loved to work with extremely long lengths. This isn't such a thing. I don't do that so much anymore. But this one, that's quite a bit done, but I don't think I would be able to finish it. Is Beach Cottage from Victoria Sampler. I'm just going to say this, one of my saddest things is the fact that they don't do their kits anymore. You can get the patterns, no problem, but not the little packages with the threads. They'll do the kits as like a limited edition thing, and that was one of the fun things about the Victoria Samplers. You could get all those fancy silks without having to go buy all those skeins. And you usually had a lot left too. So, last cubby. Woohoo! We're 52 minutes in. This is, there's not going to be much on this, is a 40 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit. It is an older dye. I've had this for a little while. So, Ada. Older set of patterns from Cherrywood Design Studios. They were the dictionary series. And I do have them all. So they're going to be on, they'll all go on this. And it is, I got two of them. Gloriana Deep Blue Sea. I love this color. Ah, well, there's Harry. Meow. Now I haven't fully decided how I'm going to do. Like, I thought about finishing them all in one big piece, but for me that's going to be a pain. So I've thought about finishing them each individually as little pillows. That's actually short. I don't even know if they'll all fit on that one piece. I can get another piece of flannel flower. We have some more at work. That might be what I do. Did you hear something? So those do, I mean, that's like 1 day stitching. So they're not a super complicated pattern. This is his favorite spot. It is his favorite spot to sit. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't want your booty all over my clean hair. This is also a Mirabilia. It is Day Nymph and Night Nymph. This is a piece of hand-dyed fabric by Stephanie Winterfell. So basically on each half of the fat quarter, one side is day, one side is night. And I want to say I placed them so they were like facing each other, or were they facing away? Don't remember. I'll have to look. And my thought was to leave them as one piece, but I might try to find some like oval frames. You got one of those little electric fireplaces you can see. He's had me here for several days, not leaving because of everything. Pretty certain this is going to be another Mirabilia. I do like my Berry Blue, yes. I haven't bought it in a while. It is My Lady's Garden, which is go. That's as far as I am. So there are some, ow! Oh, oh. I did some out like this, all the metallic is supposed to be this blend of 11HL blending filament and another one. And it was two pieces, 2 lengths of one of them and one of the other. And that sucks. So it's just the number 4 braid 11HL for my sanity. The 3 strands of blending filament were going to drive me crazy. I have no problems knitting this at all. Ooh. This would be a Hawkrun Hollow. Which one it is, we shall have to see. It is Map of Hawkrun Hollow. Boom. Now, I had started this before. Don't remember what the fabric was. Didn't really like the fabric. It was super loosey-goosey. This is a piece of 40 count. Picture this plus felt. Kind of... Well, the reason why I chose felt is one, I had several yards of it available to purchase in 40 count. Also, it kind of reminds me of like moldy parchment. Seems appropriate for an old map. Now, when I originally started this, I did DMC. Decided I didn't like it. So this is all the MPIs. I did decide when I restarted this, September 16th of 2024. Look, I even put a note. This is me pretending to be organized. Did this organization level last? No, not at all. Not at all. I decided I didn't like that. There is in Sassy Decks a model of Halloween at Hawkrun Hollow done in the MPIs, and I'm like, that's it. That is it. So, that is how that is happening now. Spin this around. That way the opening's facing me. This is DMC's. Yep. You know, after I started this and got significant amount done, I found Vicky Clayton had a conversion. But I did start this on 32 count because I don't know. How I mentioned, like, Mermaid's Folly is one I like to work on when I'm sick because, you know, it's easy in a way. This one is also one. It is one that, like, I can do the motifs and then do the background fill. So I have my full width of a peacock, unicorn, and a badger. Not the full height. Initially when I started this, I did go to start on a dark green, so as to not have to stitch in this background. I didn't like how it looked. I'm not saying it looked horrible. It wasn't pleasing to me. I wasn't leveling it. So I decided to bite the bullet and we're doing it as a full coverage, which aren't my favorite things usually, but I can work on motifs, start it, like the outline part of it, maybe even fill it in, and then all that green I will do, like, yes, I know, life's impossible. I love to do it when I'm sick because you just fill it in around all the motifs. Don't even have to count. You just fill in. Like, I will check to make sure the area that I'm filling in has everything done in that area. And then we just do fill in. He's spoiled if you didn't figure that out. Ow. Okay. One bent over. And he's gone. Food motivated too. Highly food motivated. This is, yep, Extraordinary Birds. I did start this when it came out. I did switch everything I did switch my colors to Cosmo. So if they look a little bit different, that would be why. Like I was cutting the links as I went because I really wanted to start. This also needs to be cut down. It is Lap and Loops Pusher Cerulean. Like very little of this. I think I was waiting to get the full width or full width before I cut it. I don't know. Sometimes I'm paranoid about cutting my fabric. That even though I measured, like, did I measure right? Like, that is all I have done. I started her on time. Started her with everybody else. This is why I don't do stitch alongs. I start along. Because I'm not going to be keeping up with anybody. Sometimes. It happens a few times. Like the Greenhouse of Oddities I did. But where I was at the time, I really didn't have a lot of other things to do. And it was while I didn't have very much of my stash with me. So it was easier to stay focused at that point. I'm going to pull what's left in that cubby out. Slide these ones in. Now, yes, it is in an Oklahoma bag because I lived there for years. This thing has been a project for many, many years. And I'll work on it a while and I'll just get so tired of all the 3371. I will finish this eventually. It is going to be a focus next year to get a significant amount done. Part of the reason is I hate this fabric. It is done in DMC. My whole mess of DMC. It is not the new, people have different reasons for not liking Weeks Dye Works. Good or bad reasons. It is what makes sense to them. The fabric is not horrible from Weeks Dye Works now. They use this white guard base now, but for quite a while they did not use this white guard base, and that fabric sucks. I did not know that when I started this, it really didn't have a lot of clue on any of that. It's also the first project I ever did on 36 count. It is using 2 threads because it is such a loose weave. I also didn't realize that at 36 you might start looking at only using 1 thread at the time. But coverage wise, as loose as this weave is, it does need 2 threads. This is Tin Roof. It looks nothing like what Tin Roof from Weeks Dye Work looks like now. But this is what Tin Roof used to look like. So it is the Prairie Schooler alphabet. I am going to cut this down, but I'm not going to be saving any of the fabric. I think I can kind of see through it. Right there, I can really see. So you can kind of see this dent. I am over a third of the way done. Like you can see where it's been in the hoop. You really can't see. Maybe it warps the threads. Like I'm not a huge fan of the old Weeks Dye Works fabric. It is not as white guard base, which does actually mean something. It is very, very loose weave. It is a very frustrating weave. And it is a 36 count that I am having to use 2 on because of that. Which, you know, it will be an amazing piece when I finish. It will cost me a small fortune to frame. I may get it finished as like a wall hanging. I mean, it still isn't going to be cheap, but a whole lot cheaper than paying for a frame. I don't know. Haven't fully decided yet. So, next, which is this is a glow in the dark bag. It is a Garon bag. Start 12, 16, and 24. So I started for Christmas last year. It is also in PIs. Halloween at Hawker and Hollow, which is funny, the fact that I started it at Christmas. I do have Christmas. I have all of the patterns. Between my friend and I have all the patterns. Like I said, 40 count velvet. I think she started Halloween at Hawker and Holler with me. Holler. I've been in them. She is much further along than I am. That is the extent of my completion. And we'll be coming back to this next year. I'm really loving this one. There are several things I got to do first. One of which isn't here. Is going to be a shop model of an original Sassafras Designs. It's already been seen in pictures and stuff, so it's not like I gotta keep it secret. I just don't know where it is right now. It's in a box. There's a lot of boxes in that closet that have the door shut on it, so it looks decent in here. And, well, the ones in the closet are mostly organized. The stuff that hasn't been gone through is actually in the bedroom on the other side of the wall behind me that you can't see. This is a piece. This is 40 count. It is also Mirabilia. It's actually faux Mirabilias. The In My Garden series, there's like summer in my garden, autumn in my garden, spring in my garden. So let's do a backup. And I give you an overall look. Not that I have a lot done. This is a 40 count. I did choose to do it on a 40 count so I could get all four of them, kind of like a 4-pane window. Winter, spring, then where the hat is would be summer, autumn. I kind of have this thing because I did a Dressmaker's Daughter, and then I did Maidens of the Seasons. Well, first I did Dressmaker's Daughter and finished that. That is another piece of fabric I hated. It was so flimsy. It was the weave. Yeah. I don't know what I did it on. I don't remember because, hey, don't claw that chair. Stinkerbell. Yeah. Don't remember what fabric I did it on. It's that long ago. And I really am crappy about keeping records of that. If you haven't figured that one out yet. And I did it as it was charted. It really wasn't a point where I started changing things yet. And then I did Maidens of the Seasons 1 and 2. Now I did reorder those so that the order of the seasons mimicked Dressmaker's Daughter. So I had this thing where all seasons, like the Lavender and Lace, the Celtic seasons, I have those. I finally found Spring. She had disappeared after I finished stitching her, but before I got the beads in. So I finally found her when I was going through boxes. She's been packed away for... I was still in Oklahoma when I finished stitching her. Oh! Okay. No one wants to see that. No one wants to see that. I don't even want to see that. So I need to go back and beat her at some point. But, so I decided to do this on 40 count. It is a fortnight fabric. Pretty certain is when they still had the mushroom theme thing going on. And like I said, it's a grid on a window pane. It has aired out. I started it while I was on quarantine because I had COVID. And I've worked on it off and on since. I really do need to get back to it because it's going to look amazing when I'm done. It is not going to become UFO. I really do like it. I know I have not bought any Mirabilis lately, but some of the newer ones haven't appealed. No one wants to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want it in my face either. Ow! We'll just grab the last of the bags I have down here. Yeah, I know. Go. All right. That wasn't working very well. As you can tell from the fact there are 3 rings of flosses. This is for blends, solids. I think this kind of gives away what I got going on, or at least who it's by. It is Teresa Winsler. It is Fantasy Triptych. It is another piece of Fortnite Fabrics. And that's all I got done. I haven't worked on this in a very long time. It had been packed away while I was traveling for work. It never traveled with me because it is a 32 count. Oh, 36 or 40. This is a 32 count. It never seemed like it was a practical one to have go with me anywhere. And it's not that it just didn't, because there's so many colors and then the blends and all that, it just didn't seem like a practical travel project. But the flip side of it is because there is so much detail to it. In a way it is, because that's going to keep you busy forever. This project. Yep. So, like I said, I did spend some time in Louisiana. There is a store in New Orleans, Accents. That is where I got this. This is a Fat Quarter Herbal by Fabrics by Stephanie. It is an early map of New Orleans. It's modeled off of. That's how I got. That's all I got. I've worked on it once or twice since then. It is a 32 count. It is a very beautiful piece. And it's going to look awesome on this fabric when I finish it. It is all DMC. It wasn't originally on thread drops, but as I worked on it, one of the days I came in and worked on it, I moved everything to thread drop. So, one last project. Now, there are a few more projects that are around. I just do not have them here. They're still in boxes somewhere. I do know I have a couple boxes of WIPs in there that are in Ziplocs that I'm not actively working on right now. And there's a Cosmo on the floor. I'm pretty certain I know what that came out of. I'll go to put it back in later after I finish filming. This has been a project forever. Will I finish it before the end of this year? No, but it is going to be kind of a focus for next year. It is Santa's Village and Country Cottage Needleworks. And that's where I am. I think I have all the patterns now. If I don't, I will find the last few. I'm pretty certain I have them all now, though. This is the called for. No, I think called for was lamb's wool. This is raw, natural, 32 count. I've had this. This was started before I had even left Oklahoma. I still lived in Oklahoma City. Like when they were first coming out is when I started this. That tells you how that is. So, what have we decided? There's those 4 that I'm going to focus on that I tossed behind me. And then Mermaid's Folly, which I would really love to finish as well. And then the 4 patterns that are going to be shop models. Like I said, there are several WIPs that one that are not active, but 2, I'm not even sure where they are. They're still in boxes because I have been here a month, but I have not been home very much until now. Between 2 full-time jobs. And one of those full-time jobs becomes PRN, which as of right now I do not work at in December. So we'll see how that goes. I think these ones I'm keeping out. I am actually going to transfer to have an old Hug Me bag, if anyone remembers those, that has a snap in and snap out pages. I may take these ones and transfer to that. I typically use that bag when I'm traveling so I can take multiple projects with me very easily. But I may do that for those and focus on those in some way, shape, or form. Put a couple different size hoops in there and we would be ready to go. I am going to work on editing this. I don't know how well this is going to go. So we will find out together. I am actually really excited to start doing this again because, I mean, everyone's December is crazy. There's going to be a little bit crazy. I'm going to make a trip home to family. Not at Christmas, but before. We're doing our Christmas at the beginning of the month. But I'm looking forward to having more time to actually stitch again. Even with everything else, I have been stitching just nowhere near what I used to. I'll be able to be at the needlework store at Sassy Jack's more often to do stuff and be at the stitch nights and stuff like that. And I'm just looking forward to being able to have some time. I haven't had much of that lately, so I'm just hoping you all have a great Thanksgiving. And I don't know if I will have time to film. I'm going to try to film one around the end of Christmas, but that is the majority of my WIPs. Not all, but the majority. As I finish unpacking, I'm sure I'm going to find a few more, though. And I hope you all have a good night. Bye.